Hello, everybody. This is Nick Totiro, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science, Lakeland Community College. Now, before I get into SMB, NetBIOS, enumeration of Windows machines, I want to clarify something. And that is, oftentimes we can stand here as students, as investigators, and almost take a condescending attitude towards what's happening in the world. I'm gonna show you a well-known breach. We may even chuckle at it. We may find it amusing, but there's actually some precedent behind these type of breaches. So I want to start with that. So let's go up to my website and let's take a look at probably one of my favorite breaches. Again, I'm chuckling about it, but there's actually a lot of backstory associated with this, and we don't want to take a condescending attitude to it. So let me go up to my machine, and this is a well-known breach. It came out in 2021. It said hack Florida water plant, reuse password, and had an aging Windows installation. And if you scroll down right here, once they did the investigation, a quick little backstory about what happened was somebody hacked into a city's water treatment plant and began to dial up the chemicals, actually making the water toxic chemicals that were going to be used to clean up the water. They began to dial it up and they discovered it. And then they brought in, I think they were able to stop it, but then they brought in experts. And what they discovered was right here that the breach occurred because a lot of factors involved here. The plant was using a Windows 7 machine. This is 2021 when this occurred. The plant was using a Windows 7 machine, and Windows 7 went out of support by Microsoft in 2009. So it was at least a 10, 12, 15-year machine in there. Also, this article doesn't go into grand detail about it. They were using some older software on this Windows 7 machine. And then they made the passwords. I think they were using the default passwords or they were keeping the machine up and running. And what it was, and I'm a little familiar with this because I used it years ago, they used a software that allowed people to call into that machine remotely. So they weren't tied to the internet. This was still a dial up situation. And the person that basically controlled the water treatment plant left the modem on that Windows 7 machine, and they were running a application. I think they were running something called PC Anywhere. And somebody discovered that modem, and somebody dialed in, and lo and behold, they had full access to the control system. So a lot went wrong for the breach to occur. Very old machine, wasn't supported anymore, running older software, weak passwords. They let the modem on all the time. People knew about it. It was just a travesty. But anyways, I can stand here and I can be a little condescending, and I really don't mean it. Or we could be condescending. We laugh at the Windows 7 machine. We laugh at the PC Anywhere. We laugh at people. But we see this over and over again. Now, in small municipalities, even in some county municipalities, before we start getting into the bigger government, we all have this illusion of this massive government. But in a lot of municipalities, when they purchase equipment, they have to do bonds and levies and all this other stuff. So they may purchase software and hardware every 5, 10 years. They go out to the voters. Maybe the voters don't turn them down. So I have personally worked with small cities, and they can't spend $50,000, $60,000 every couple of years updating machines. And then there's the things about training individuals, the turnover associated with political jobs, and this is what happens. If you were to do any kind of internet search about legacy machines that are out there that people still use, it's scary. It's scary. Yeah, large organizations, they try to get rid of the legacy machines as soon as possible. Small organizations, especially government organizations, they don't have the money. They can't go to the taxpayers every couple of years and say, we need to spend 50, 100, $200,000 to upgrade this stuff. So next time we read a story like this, yes, we can chuckle at it because we haven't touched Windows 7 for 15 years. But also understand there is a lot of legacy machines out there. I haven't seen one for a while, but somebody have told me that some of the old controllers, a company I worked for years ago, used to write software for controlling systems. Some of the old controllers are still written in DOS, some of the old archaic stuff. So I want to make a quick little video about, yeah, there are legacy systems out there, and we have to be careful on that. In the ethical hacking world, we go out and we look for those weak systems. We're not trying to go after the big systems. Yes, those are important too. But one of the first things we do is that low hanging fruit. Got to go out there for those old legacy systems that haven't been updated, and maybe there is well-known vulnerabilities. There is so many well-known vulnerabilities associated with Windows 7 and some of the other ones, and they get patched, but you don't know what version they're running. So again, next time we are looking at some of these older things, these legacy systems, think about it. They're out there, and those are the ones that we make the recommendations to. We say, hey, you need to be aware that these legacy systems have an inherent flaw to them. So this is Nick Totiro. Let's go and learn something.